Hi, this is a short video on preparing the best resume and personal statement for the undergraduate business application. There are two due dates, so keep that in mind, September 1 and October 1, and that doesn't change each year. So please pay attention and make the best possible resume, and you can also have it brought into UCS for some feedback in person, or you can submit it online to CareerLina, and we can give you feedback there as well. So looking at the fundamentals of resumes, this is the information that you're going to want to include. Contact information, education, honors, experience, leadership, activities, skills, and other categories. So looking more specifically at contact information, there's two different ways that you can do it. You can have your name, email, and phone number in the center, and then beneath that you can have your school address and your home address. If you don't want to include two addresses, you can list your name in the middle, your school address on one side, and your email and phone on the other. Now keep in mind, please use your UNC email. This shows that you are in fact a student at UNC. And here's some information. Keep your margin on all sides at 0.5, and your font should be no larger than a 12. The objective is not required, so don't take up space on your resume to use an objective for the Undergraduate Business Program application. The next category is education. So given that this is a resume, you always want to list things in reverse chronological order. So you can list your college and your high school attended. So you're at UNC right now, so UNC should be the first set of information that you're including. And it would be University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, your year of school, so it's either sophomore or junior, pre-business studies, and then your graduation day, May 2016. And that should all be on one line. Riverside High School, if you had your high school, or if you're a transfer student, you can put your transfer institution there. And with the GPA, only 2 decimal places. There's no reason you should have another digit following that 4 or that 9 in this case. And do not round. That's another thing. No rounding of GPAs. Looking at the honors category, this is optional. So first of all, you want to ask yourself, does the reader know what the award is for? If it is a Millennium Gates Foundation scholarship, great. If it's a Moorhead Cain, okay, people tend to know what that is. But if people don't know if it's an academic award, merit, community service, you do want to point that out, and you can see this example down here. And then Dean's List, if you've been on the Dean's List, indicate how many semesters. If you've been on it all semesters, go ahead and put all semesters. However, here's a caveat to this. If the Dean's List is the only piece of information you are including in the honor section, do not have an honor section. You would put the Dean's List back in the education section, so back here, and it would go right under your GPA. Okay. So moving back ahead, we're going to look at the experience section. This is the meat of your resume. And experience comes in different forms, but right now we're going to focus on relevant experience. So once again, reverse chronological order. You need to be able to articulate your experiences through the strong action statements. That's what the B School is going to be looking for. You can say that you have a certain job title, but if you're not backing it up with strong action points, there's nothing, there's no one to say that you really did that. And then to focus on your accomplishments and skills, and quantify and use percentages when you can. So here's a couple of really good examples. So here we have the organization, University Directories in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Title was sales rep, and then the time or dates that it was done. If it was a summer internship, summer job, you really only need to state summer. You don't have to put May to August. And here's some strong bullet points. Achieved 105% of summer sales quota. Recognized by placing the top 10% of Salesforce, sold over $225K of advertising space, and attended week-long sales training program. Very action-oriented. And same thing for this Carolina Annual Fund. Organization, title, dates, and then strong bullet points. Leadership and activities. This can be separated into 2 categories or combined into 1. Both are not required, but I want to explain what makes something leadership. So if you hold a position in an organization like vice president, that's definitely a leadership activity. And so you want to list your title, the organization which you did that in, and the date. and then some bullet points. What made it a leadership activity? Because you can be a member of, you can be a volunteer, you can be a soccer coach, but if you cannot make it a leadership, that you took charge, that you instructed, that you organized, coordinated, then just leave it in the activities section. But even if you're in, say you've been a member of, Habitat for Humanity for 4 years, even back in high school, and you go on Habitat builds and you help out, well, that's an activity. But say in the last year you became a coordinator for a Habitat build and you had to, get people together and coordinate the purchase of products and services and coordinate volunteers. Okay, well, that's more of a leadership role. So that's an activity that became a leadership position. And so you can specify that. And I would put it under leadership, and then you would have your leadership for that year. And then underneath that, you would have, member with the other remaining years. Skills and references. So skills is a great way to show your language ability. It's also a place that you can indicate your computer skills, social media platforms that you use, but it's not necessarily to show that you know how to use Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The business school assumes that you know how to use those. You've gotten this far with that knowledge, so most likely you learned it in high school, and don't use your resume to kind of put on there what they already assume you know how to do. References do not belong on your resume. Okay, so do not even include them. And then once you put them all together, you have samples that look like this. And I know these are really small. You can actually find these on our website at careers.unc.edu/UBP. And there are sample resumes on there, as well as the template that you can use. Oh, let me go back. Yeah, so hold on. So the template is available on the UCS website. I encourage you, highly recommend, one step shorter of being mandatory, use the template. The B School likes to see it. It shows that you can follow directions. So please use it. So here we have information about the personal statement. The hardest part of the personal statement is getting it down to 500 words. Students have a lot to say. But the key is make sure you're answering these 3 points. So your rationale for why you're interested in studying business. So why did you choose business over other majors? And what experiences have led you to that decision? Articulating your specific goals, short-term and long-term. So short-term is right after graduation, what do you want to do? And then long-term, where do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years? Don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to know the answers to this. The business school is not going to come back and check on you in 15 years to make sure you're doing what you said you'd be doing in your personal statements for your application. They just want to know that you have some goals. And then the third one is reason why Kenan-Flagler, can help you get there. So you want to talk about any specific programs you've read about, any faculty that you may have come across. Maybe you took a prereq and you really like that faculty. What did you learn? A specific program you heard about through a student group or a student organization itself. So try to incorporate, you got to do a little research here to, figure out what it is about Kenan-Flagler that is so appealing to you that makes you want to study there. And the last slide here is just the available resources. I've mentioned some of them. So our sample resumes on our website. We have our career guide. Those samples are also in there. We have Optimal Resume. It's an online resume builder tool. I don't necessarily recommend it all the time. If you're really good with Word, just use that one. Use Microsoft Word. It works just as well. But if you don't trust yourself, go ahead and use Optimal Resume. Our office, we have appointments that you can make online, in person, or on the phone. That's our phone number. We have one-on-one appointments with UCS career counselors, and we have drop-in hours for quick questions, for resume reviews or personal statement reviews. We do not review the essays for the business school application. You need to take those to the Writing Center or submit them online. And our drop-in hours are Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. Thank you.